Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We can start the webinar session. So I'll introduce myself once again. So greetings, everyone, from wherever you're joining. And it's a pleasure connecting with you today. And I just want to thank you for taking your time to register for the webinar session. So my name is Leon Ocholi. I am based here in Nairobi, Kenya, and I serve as a business development expert covering the African region at Brightpoint Infotech. I'm also joined by my colleagues who will also be introducing themselves later during the session. Then, just to set the tone for today's engagement, today's webinar is in partnership with Microsoft. So Brightpoint Infotech being a certified Microsoft partner. So we are working closely with Microsoft to transform higher education institutions. So, and the objective and the theme of today being transforming higher education with Edufin Student Information Solutions and Microsoft AI solutions. So the objective of today's webinar is to take you through some of the solutions we have built, some of the solutions that we are supporting at different higher education institutions, and how we can transform your campus engagement with integrated cloud solutions that will securely bring your data together and improve your student experience. And at the end of the day, we also want to help you streamline your operations so that you are running better. And at the end of the day, you're also enhancing your experience as an institution. So I will be your moderator of the day. And like I said, in the meantime, please feel free to drop your name, the institution that you're representing on the chat box. So this will make the session very interactive. So just to start the session, I will take you through the agenda of the day. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on this presentation. I want us to spend more time on the demo. So I will take you through the journey of Brightpoint Infotech, what makes us different in the market, what we are currently proposing, and also a view of our solution overview, and also just to paint a picture for you when it comes to our global customers. So the session will roughly take 90 minutes. We'll start with an introduction overview, and then we'll move into the demonstration and walkthrough of the SIS, the Student Information System, and also what we have in store for you when it comes to Microsoft solutions for the higher education. Then kindly, I request if you can, we can all mute our microphones. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop the question on the chat box, or towards the end of the session, we'll have a Q&A session. You can always raise up your hand. You can always raise your hand, and the team will gladly assist. Then moving to the next slide. So this just paints for you a picture of our speakers for the day. We are joined by our senior consultants. We have Cynthia Nzioka, who is our SIS functional consultant at Brightpoint Infotech. We also have Joulyne, who is also a functional senior consultant here at Brightpoint. Then we also have Philip, who heads the African office and is also a seasoned functional consultant. So we are joined with our senior technical team here at Brightpoint, who will be taking us through the solution demo. So just to give you a background about Brightpoint Infotech, we have been in business for almost 15 plus years. And what we do as a company, our bread and butter is technology solutions. So by this, I mean, we deploy solutions that help businesses run better, solutions that help organizations streamline their business processes. So we are an end-to-end Microsoft house, and our expertise and experience is built around Microsoft products. So we have We have deployed a number of solutions across the globe. We are headquartered out of Florida, that's in the US, but we do have regional strategic offices spread across. So we have an office here in Nairobi that looks after our African customers. So we have customers in East Africa, we have customers in Central Africa, and we have also customers within the Southern African region. So Nairobi is also strategic. And apart from Nairobi, we have offices in the UAE, so in Dubai, which looks after the Gulf region. Then we have an office in Canada. Then we also have offices in India. Moving to the next slides. So our customers are always in the forefront when it comes to our thinking and preparations. So what makes us different is that we are industry aware. So we are at par with the current trends when it comes to technology. We all know that technology keeps on changing on a day-to-day basis. So Brightpoint Infotech, as a technology partner, we are always aware on what's happening out there. Then moving to the next value prop is that we have the right people. So we have the right people who are able to deploy these technologies. So depending on your industry vertical, your business processes, your unique requirements, we have the right people who will be able to deploy and support these technologies. So all our consultants are actually certified with the latest Microsoft certifications. So at the end of the day, once you contract Brightpoint, you know that you're dealing with the right people. Then we are also targeted when it comes to the industries we trade in. So for us, higher education is one of our biggest sweet spot. So we have close to 20 plus universities who are using our solution. So we are very targeted when it comes to the industries or verticals which we trade in. So over the years, we have perfected, and I can confidently say that we speak the higher education language when it comes to matters technology. Then we are also equipped with industry-leading solutions. Then moving to the next slide is that when it comes to our solutions, we have an end-to-end solution that will be able to manage your institution all the way from enrollment and admission, finance and billing being the backbone of any institution. Then we also have core modules around grading and timetabling, then of course notification, and we do have the student and the staff portals. So the technical team will take you through this presentation. Then moving to the next slide is that this also paints for you a picture on more to do, and this paints a picture on how comprehensive our student information system is, all the way from student records to seamless integration. So if you have any third-party solutions which you're also currently using, we are able to integrate with our core ERP solutions. Then moving to the next slide is that this just shows you some of the customers we have in Africa. We recently had a success story with the Northrise University. So this is one of the largest private universities in Zambia. We have a very good success story in Botswana with Botho University. So like I mentioned, the higher education sector is one of our biggest sweet spots because we have mastered the industry processes. We have mastered the key pain areas these institutions are currently facing, and we have a working solution. So it's easier for us to point you to the right direction and refer you to some of our happy customers or our happy customer success sites. So moving to the next session. So this is where I want us to spend the majority of the time so that we can go through the solution end to end. And I want to invite our senior functional consultant, Cynthia Nzioka, who will take us through the student information system, how the solution works, and she'll also take you through the key modules and the key sub-modules. So please feel free to drop your questions on the chat box, and you can always raise up your hand, and the team will attend to you. So Cynthia, please.
Thank you, Leon. Good evening, good morning, depending with the location you are. As mentioned to you, I'm Cynthia Nzioka. I'm working with Brightpoint as a functional consultant, and hopefully it will be an interactive session. I'll be taking you through the SIS modules, and I hope that it will be a good interaction. So I'll be sharing my screen. You let me know once you're able to see my screen. So as I set up my... So Leon, are you able to see my screen? Maybe just need to make sure I'm in the right track.
Yes, Cynthia. Yes, Cynthia.
Okay.
I can see.
Okay, thank you for that, and I hope I'm audible enough. So we have a busy SIS database that we have built our own solution. As you can see, this is just an interface for the same. So in this, we happen to manage the student applications from the cycle of where they start to apply to the process whereby we have the admission process. And then we go to the student management in cases whereby we involve the registrar and the team to manage the student activities during the semester or term, depending with how institution call them. So I can say all the processes are more dependent with the institutional policies and how they manage to use their terms. So we are able to navigate all through that. So as I've opened, this is one of the role center. We call it academic role center. And we have other several role centers, maybe which I'll just give an explanation on what it entails before I go to the integration of several portals, which we use to integrate with the main database. So we have academic role center, which is more of the backbone of the SIS interactions with the student. So in academic role center, we manage the process of applications, to admissions, and as well as I've said, registrar management in cases we have issues to do with students requesting for something from the management, like a requisition, which I can say maybe a program change. This is whereby the registrar happens to manage all those scenarios. Also, we have the issue of timetabling, and as well we have the reports that govern the role center. We have another one that is called examination role center, or we call it grading. So examination are the specific tasks we manage to come up with the scenarios of how we do our grading. We set up all the requirement of the setups for GPA calculations with the transcript and all the process that involves in grading with the exam card. So that's all the activities that we do for the student during the examination period. We have another role center or interface we call a student finance role center. That is whereby the student finance team, they manage to deal with the payments of students and also billing scenarios and cases of payment plan. So if the student have delayed to pay, we have penalties that should be, the reports should be run so that the student can be able to be reminded to pay their installments if they go with the installment planning way. And also we deal with integrations. Integration can involve bank integrations, whereby we have managed to successfully implement that. So this is whereby we monitor. So meaning student finance, they don't need to do manual receipting all through. when we integrate the BC with bank through the APIs, automatically when the bank they make the C payment, it's streamlined through the BC by default. So the finance just has to monitor whether the payments are just accurate and they're able to receive them from their end. And then we have hostel management. In this module, we mostly deal with the hostel, just as the name. We have the student who we issue accommodation in the institutions. So we are able to manage with the BC on the booking of rooms and how we manage them, the spaces, so that there's no colliding with the room, with a space with another. So we streamline the process so that the student can be able to book online and pay online. And as well, we have also the evacuation of the end of the semester rooms. So we manage all those activities for hostel in the same database. This can involve internal hostels as well as external hostels if we act as a third party. We have something else we call quality assurance. Quality assurance is whereby we manage evaluations by the end of the semester. So we need to get feedback from the students on their academic life to tell us about the lecturer who is teaching them, and we get to understand whether they are being satisfied or we need to do improvements. And also we manage the complaints in the same role center. So in the interest of time, maybe I just explained few things before I get to, I have only 20 minutes, so I should be through within 14 or 15 minutes. So we have this one. So we have masters. We capture the programs which institution they offer. We have the course master in cases we get to have all the courses consolidated in the same database and all the requirement of are they prerequisites and all that, so that we can manage the controls when the students are registering and also the courses on offer. We have the admission, which I've said the applicants, when they apply online, they get to streamline all the application through this screen I'm sharing here. And then the admission team, they're able to take through the approval processes and document verification as required accordingly, up to the last stage whereby they convert the applicant to a student and they get to receive the admission letter, and they join the institution as students. Then, as explained, we have the part of the registrar whereby they monitor the student. We have the student who want to take a break from learning and they want to ask for other queries through the registrar team, so they can do all that through the portal, as I will be demonstrating in a few. We also have to manage the class attendance online, so the student, the lecturer, they take online attendance. In that case, we also can be able to integrate with biometric in cases the student have to key in their biometric. It's directly integrated with the same instead of lecturer manually taking attendance online. So we have that. And then we have the timetable management. So the registrar also, they manage the timetable for either upcoming semester. So we make sure by the time semester is starting, we have all the timetables accordingly in the system. When the student registers, automatically they're able to see their respective classes. And we have the requisition. Requisition, as I've said, these are requests that are made by students through the portal. So they can ask for a program change, they can ask for exemptions online, course drops, withdrawals, missed exams. So all this, depending with the institution, we are able to manage them. We are managed to manage the requests from the portals. So having given that brief explanation on the main interface, allow me to take you through the portals and we just understand how it works. So what I've shared through it is what we call the online application portal. So any applicant who is interested with our with the institution registration or application, they are able to log in through their websites and get to know more about the institution. So any institution, depending with how they put their interface in, they can be able to give the brief explanation of the courses they offer, the payments, and also whatever information they have to put on the website. So this is just a overview of one sample. Then they can also demonstrate their programs on the same interface. They can be able to show the applicants the programs which they offer. And also applicant, they can be able to see the period which the program takes. If it's 4 years, is it a bachelor, where is it offered in cases we have a multiple campus in the institution. And also we have the inquiry session. So if an applicant has any inquiry, wants to make it to the institution, they can be able to raise it through this. So they can put their name, email, phone number, and then the query, and then they submit. Or this one is able to be received under BC. So this session, we are able to receive all the inquiries that the applicants are trying to ask, and we can be able to respond to them automatically, or by call or through mails, whatever we prefer to. We have the process of first the applicant has to create an account with the institution. So when they create the account, they can be able to log in. So that's the procedure. So I can just demonstrate a sample of one applicant I've tried to log in with. So this one is just an applicant who was trying to log in. So just give me a minute. I log in with this applicant so that we can be able to see the interface of the portal as well. So they log in through the email and a password which they create by themselves. So that is the procedure. So every applicant has to log in this way. And then we have the stamp security. Then once you log in, they are able to see the applications. So they have the way they will query raise an application card. So we have divided them to four processes. Number one, the profile is whereby they give their personal information. And as you see, they should attach their own passport or a picture of themselves before they proceed. So depending with the institution, this one we are able to customize as per the institution the way they want it to be. And then we have the cases of emergency. They want to have a contact person, medical history, employment status. So we have what these under profile. Then on the second part, they have to key in there. They have to select the program which they are interested to come to do in the institution as an applicant. We have given them two alternatives. It may be if one is failed to be given, they can have an alternative program, but depending on the institution. So they key in the program which they want to do, and they select even the mode of study they want to do. And of course, by default, the intake is defaulted to the current, and the campus, if there are multiple campus, they are able to select. And then next, they are able to attach the required documents. So all these are documents which an applicant are able to do by themselves. And we usually highlight them so that they can do it for verification purposes. And once they are through with this, they get to the declaration end before they submit. So they are able to see if there are code of conduct which they need to read before they agree. And also they can preview the application in case they want to see what they have filled, the information, whether it's correct. So all this is done here. And then lastly, they can submit their application. So we have the part of the payment. We usually have integration between this and the bank in cases we have the bank payment or we have the visa payment. So here you can't proceed unless you pay once we enable the control. So for this one, they're able to submit. So once you submit the application, it goes to the admin team, and you can be able only to preview the application and follow up with the status here. So when that one is done, it comes to BC. As you can see, it will be under the pending approval for the admin to be able to approve. So all these details are monitored in BC, and you're able to see also the attachments and the picture of the applicant and all the information that they have done. So all this one, whoever is on admission head of it can be able to determine whether to accept or reject depending with the performance. So it goes through several approvals. We have verification, approval, final, and then after we approve for the final, they're able to receive their admission letter and the package of admission. So that's the procedure, how it goes. So because of the interest of time, that's just an overview of how application works up to the BC level. So with your permission, allow me to log into one student, then we can have an overview of the student. One of the student portal, we see how it works from the end of application end of the student. So once an applicant is admitted, they are able to log into student portal and register courses by themselves. So this is an overview of the student portal. So I will log in with one student, and then we'll be able to see how it looks like, just so that we can have a good overview of what happens. So this is a student portal. So if you check at it, the picture that the student applicant updated on the application is all carried through with the history to the student level. So we have the personal profile, which gives us the dashboard and the brief information of the student with the program and the fee that they are paid and the remaining balance. And then we have the course registration. This is whereby they get to register for courses for every semester. And we have also the master timetable. As I explained, we have the timetabling. So they're able to see the timetable as uploaded from the registrar team. So they're able to see the old timetables, because before they register, they get to know the day and the time that works for them, so that there's no any conflict before they register. And then when the student registered, it gets them to my timetable. My timetable is now narrows down to the units that you are doing. And then we have the academic requisition. As I've mentioned, this is whereby the student gets to do some requests to the admin. They might want to drop a course which they have registered. They might need exemption. When they raise this one, by default, they are automated by approval process, electronic approval process in BC, whereby the registrar and the admin team are able to cater for that. And then lastly, we have the evaluation process. The student, by the end of the semester, we offer them an evaluation form whereby they be able to take us through the process of giving us feedback on the rating. It might be in question form. So they be able to evaluate every lecturer with every all the units that they have registered. Then by this, we control it with the exam card. So when they complete evaluation, they be able to now download the exam card so that they can have the exams preparation ready. So this is the last process that is done by a student in the course of the semester. We have the clearance request. So clearance request is in cases whereby the student wants to do clearance or wants to leave the institution, or graduation clearance. So we have this interface whereby they can do it online by themselves. Then they submit it for approvals. For the financial, we have the fee statements. So the students are able to check their fee statements online. They can print, or they can also download anytime they want. So any semester or their fee financial status is updated here. So they can be able to see their balances and all that. We have also the receipts. So any payment that has been done is able to be updated through the portal. So this one also, they can also download, they can also preview anytime they want, and show them all the payments, summarize all the payment that they have done per payment. So that's just an overview. We have also something we call payment plan to just manage the payment of the student who wants to pay with installments. We usually have several consolidated payment plan. We have some who want to pay one-off. We can call it full tuition payment. We have others who want to go with the 2 installments at most, and others who would go for 3 installment, or the number of installment that institution would want to have. So what happens is when the student completes, before they complete registration, we usually show them their payment plan, how they will be paying, tied to the dates that they should be paying each installment. And then we give them a breakdown of the percentage to be paid each installment. And then after this, they are able to monitor their balance. So once they pay, this balance is automatically updated as per their payment plan, which is selected. So if the student doesn't pay in time, we have a penalty that we run. We have a report that we run for penalty, and we set up the percentage that you will be penalized if you don't pay in time. So we have also hostel booking. Student can book hostel online. As I mentioned, we have a module for that. So any student can be able to book by themselves. We have the rooms that student can see the rooms which are partially occupied or occupied. And if it's vacant, they are able to book a space by themselves, like the way I'm doing. And by doing that, you're able to book a room by yourself and you pay. So you can put the control before you submit. That's also another scenario that happens. Or some, they would prefer the student to produce an invoice. Then we enable them to pay before they join the hostel. So this is just a breakdown of the student portal, how it works and how it looks like. So I've captured all the other aspects of the BC as I've shared earlier with the modules, how they are integrated with the solution at the point of the student interaction with the admin. So give me 3 minutes. I just want to take you through faculty before I complete my presentation. We have faculty portal. We have staff portal, faculty. Some will call it faculty, others would call it staff portal. So staff portal, this is the dashboard, how it looks like. This one is accessible by lecturers for the purpose of keying in marks, updating, submitting marks, and also for the purpose of taking attendance. And also we have some in cases dean have to allocate this one to manage their own faculty allocation of courses. So we have all these in place. So by cases a lecturer wants to take attendance, so just let me log in again. I've timed out. So so as you see, we have the allocated courses. So here lecturer can be able to take attendance of their choice anytime when they have a class. So like here you can see we have this one that the lecturer had already taken attendance. So you can mark them present or absent. And once you save the attendance, you'll be able to submit it to post it. Once you post the admin team, they'll be able to see the attendance that has been posted. And also we usually incorporate the attendance with the faculty. They're able to monitor the attendance in cases we want to give a punishment to a student who has not attended as per the required minimum attendance percentage. And as well, the student are able also to see their percentage of attendance by 10. So a faculty can able to post. Once posted, you can't edit anymore. So that's how they do attendance every week. And also if you have 2 classes or more, you can be able also to do attendance. We have also the other part of the mark entry. This is whereby the lecturer submits marks at the end of the semester. It might be a cut or assessment or another form of marks as per the institution. So they can key in as per unit. You see every unit is defined by the cut total and the final total. So the lecturer can be able to update all accordingly as per this. And also they can use import of Excel. Is very easy. Can import data and then you save and update. Once saved and updated, automatically it is now submitted to the registrar for moderation purposes and also for the consolidated mark sheet. So this is how the lecturer are able to do few activities through the portal. So all that one is fully integrated in the same system as I've shared. So in case we have any question, I would want to stop it there because past my time with 2 minutes, so that I won't take much of the time. So in case you have any question, please you can raise it on the chat box and I'll be able to answer you. But that exactly is the overview of the whole SIS solution in a brief flow. So thank you so much. I appreciate. Thank you, Leon.
Thank you, Cynthia. So thank you, Cynthia, for that presentation. Well presented. Thank you for capturing the key modules within the few minutes we have allocated. I know that paints a picture on how detailed and scalable the system is. So I'll invite Joulyne, who is also our senior functional consultant, to spend a few minutes on the other modules. Then after Joulyne is done, I'll also invite Joe from Microsoft. He'll give us an overview of the solutions we have around Microsoft for the higher education. Then from there, we can proceed to the question and answer session. And we are very much open to further these discussions and connect with you on a more in-depth one-on-one session. So please feel free to just drop a message if you need us to connect further to discuss the solution in depth. So Joulyne, over to you. If you can just spend the next 10 to 15 minutes max on the remaining modules, then Joe will also pick it up from there. So Joulyne, kindly.
Okay. Thank you, Leon. So my name is Joulyne Diana. I'm functional consultant here at Brightpoint doing HR, procurement, and finance. So I'm going to take you through an overview of what our solution has and what it can do. So I'm just going ahead to share my screen. So so I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to take us through the. So I'm going to session with going through what our HR solution has. So just from the login, this is what the system looks like. So we have this module which is integrated with it is integrated with finance. Want to run payroll and maybe you want to see if leave is involved, the staff that gets paid leave allowance. So the system is integrated with finance. So the people in finance would be able to see what is going on in HR and vice versa at the same time. So I'm going to start with taking us through the recruitment process. So once you on how do you onboard process staff into the system? So we start by having an overview of all the jobs that are available in the company. So we come and define what jobs we have available. Then a vacancy is created into the system. And if you have a recruitment portal, then we send the advert over to the portal, to the recruitment portal where all applicants will be able to submit their application to the system. So so this is where once the applicants start to submit their requisitions, applications into the system, the HR manager will be able to check and see what we have on the recruitment long listing here. So recruitment long listing keeps a record of all the applicants and all the submissions that come into the system. Then we'll have, once the applications have been submitted, then they'll start to do a recruitment shortlist in the system. So the system captures, you can be able to do your shortlisting based on all criteria that you have. Maybe you want to shortlist based on gender, or maybe based on citizenship, or based on maybe the degree or the professional body that thing belongs to. So you can be able to do that. And once the shortlisting process has been completed, then you'll be able to send the people who have qualified, who you see that their qualifications meet your standard. So you'll be able to see that from them. You'll be able to send them an email. And once the email goes to all the people who have been qualified and been shortlisted, then the system will send an email to all the applicants who are not successful, to be able to get a rejection email and tell them they should try maybe applying next time. So all the emails are customized based to your standard or what you currently use. And also we have a list of the interviews. So once you've been able to send the qualification emails to the applicant, so we can be able to also have a listing of the interview applicant, and also give them interview dates and interview timings for each and everyone. So, and also once the interviews have been completed, so you can be able to finalize and onboard the applicant into the employee manager role. So with the employee management role, so this is where the HR will be able to come and track the applicants' data who are now staff. So you'll be able to capture their employment numbers, their emails, and details which are relevant. And also for the sake of payroll, so we'll capture their payment details here. And also we have to capture their next of kin details just in case of maybe emergencies. So we'll be able to manage that data into the employee management card. So also further, so the HR will be able to do approval. So we have maybe approvals that come from when applicants when staff apply for certain things, maybe from the staff portal, which I'll be able to showcase in a bit. So we'll be able to monitor the approval entries at any particular time that as they come from the portal. So we also have this part where we have leave management. So with leave management is basically where the staff will be able to apply for leave applications and also get approvals for the same. So maybe I'll just take us to the portal. So let me log in so that I can be able to show you how the process comes from the portal all the way to the Business Central. So this is the dashboard where the staff will be able to see. So just at a glance, the system notifies you maybe what is your leave balance, how many days you've taken, and what is your annual entitlement. So if you happen to have any leave days carried forward from the previous year, so you'll be able to see how many days were carried forward. So also the staff will be able to apply for, will be able to record their timesheets. So we have timesheets where they their day-to-day, whatever activities they do, so they'll be able to capture that on the staff timesheet. And also we have the leave applications where they'll be able to create new applications and send them for approval, which will come back to Business Central where the HR management team will be able to track that data. We also have training management where the staff can be able to apply for different trainings and get approval on the same. And then after they've done their trainings, they'll be able to do training evaluations where they'll come and gauge themselves how the training was, if they would recommend the training to other people, to the rest of the team, and how was their overall experience during the training. So to move from that, so that is just the overview of what we have on HR management. So we also have payroll where we get to run the payroll for different staff. So the system is very dynamic. So we get to define all the earnings that are available within the system. So we'll define everything is set up based. So we'll define the earnings and the deductions that are there in the system, and then after that we come and assign the employees these particular earnings and deductions, and then we'll be able to run our payroll. So once we run the payroll, we'll be able to transfer the payroll journal over to finance. So that is the integration that I was talking about. So once the payroll journal has been run, then the finance team would be able to see that journal and action it again. So we also have fleet management where we manage, we do transport management, driver logins, incident logins, and fuel allocations for the different drivers. So the system captures the starting point of the driver, so where the driver is going, maybe the kilometers that they've captured, how much fuel they have used, and also how much is remaining by the time they reach their destination. So again, the system is able to do maybe fuel transfers. So we are able to capture fuel transfers maybe if the vehicle that the driver was using happens to have maybe a certain malfunction and it cannot be, it is not roadworthy again. So we can be able to transfer the fuel that is in the vehicle to another vehicle that they'll be able to use. We also have maintenance requests where we manage the different vehicles that the drivers are using. So it is not only to maintain other assets as well. So that would be an overview of what we have on the HR management. So I'll take us briefly to what we have on procurement. So with the procurement system, so we start by planning. So what we want to purchase, whatever items maybe we want to, the institution would like to purchase within a particular financial year. So we start by planning on those items. What do you want to buy? Again, we'll go to, once we have planned, then we'll go ahead and do a purchase requisition. So we do, the requisitions are gauged in different categories. So we have maybe, we have the requisition request, the pending approvals, the ones that are approved, and once the requisition has been fully utilized, then the purchase request would be archived. We also have procurement methods. So once you have done that particular requisition, maybe if the certain item that you want to procure or the service that you'd like to procure, you'd like to do it via tendering method or a request for quotation or a proposal. So the system is able to walk you through all that process where you'll be able to do a tender, send it to the suppliers, and then the supplier will be able to give the feedback back to Business Central again, so that we'll do the opening where we'll create different tender committees and do the tender evaluation, and also eventually award the suppliers with the purchase order with an LPO. So again, the system is able to give that feedback. The integration between the system and the supplier portal has been done, so that would be possible regardless if process that you are using will be able to capture that process for you. So also we have the contract management where we manage if we've entered into an agreement with a certain supplier. So let's say we've entered into tendering agreement, so we'll be able to capture that contract process when the contract process was initiated, for how long the contract would be running, if we'd like to do maybe an extension or do a termination to the contract. So the system is able to manage that process for us as well. So we also have under here supplier portal application. So when we'll be doing supplier registration, so the system will be able to capture. So only suppliers who have been evaluated and have passed the evaluation process based on whatever criteria we will have put in place will be able to make it to our listing of suppliers. So any supplier who gets to the approved supplier application stage will be created as a vendor, because they'll have met the criteria that we are looking for to have within our suppliers. So that's a brief overview of the procurement module. We also have the self-service for the procurement team, which they'll be able to access parts of the system. So I'll take us to what we have in finance. So just give me a moment so that I'll be able to go to finance real quick. So with our finance module, finance is also integrated with the rest of the modules, HR, procurement. So just a moment. Okay, so this is the overview of the finance module. So at a glance, you'll be able to see your the finance management queues, which literally give you an overview of the system. So you can be able to see a listing of your receivables, your payables, your fixed assets, your cash book, and also see what approvals are pending at any particular time. So we have the general ledger, which helps us to maintain the listing of accounts that we have in the system, the accounts that you have in organization, and also you can be able to do budgeting within the system using the GL budgets that are there. So we also have our cash management, which helps you to maintain your cash book at any particular time. So here you can be able to create bank accounts, do your bank reconciliations at any particular time. You can be able to check and see how much money do I have in my bank account, how did I do the reconciliation. So you can be able to check that on our cash management. So we have also receivables, where you get to manage your receivables, create a listing of all the customers. You can also manage your sales invoices as well. So the receivables part helps you to manage all your receivables, and also you can be able to give an overview of what is happening in your institution at any particular time. So we also have reports for each. So you'll be able to generate, maybe you want to see the aging reports at any particular time. You want to see maybe reporting, depending on how you do your reporting. So the system will be able to accommodate that for you. So we also have payables, where you manage your vendors, and where you manage your vendors. So you can be able to capture all the vendor details, and also you can be able to do vendor aging, and also manage your purchase invoices at any particular time. So we have also fixed assets, where we get to manage our assets. You can also do depreciation of the assets. So depending on which method of depreciation you use, so the system will be able to cater for that for you. And also you can be able to do asset disposal also within the system. So we have, again, finance transaction list. So this is where you basically do your finance transactions. So you can be able to raise your payment vouchers. You can be able to raise the receipts. And if you are doing petty cash, you can be able to raise the petty cash request. So we have stuff which is integrated to the staff portal again, to be able to do a claiming on maybe what request they have.
Okay.
Again, overview again. So we have. Okay, so just a minute. So we have that again.
Sorry,
which is integrated
Joulyne, you're
where
breaking.
you see if.
Sorry, you're breaking. We can't get you clearly.
I don't know if you hear me now.
Okay, you have like 2 minutes before we invite Joe.
Okay. All right. So again, as I was showing on the finance transaction list, so the staff can be able to raise their interest requisition from the portal, and then that feedback will be received back to Business Central. So the requisition that they do, the interest requisition, they'll be needed to do an interest surrender back. So they'll be able to initiate that transaction from the staff portal. And also the staff claims they'll be able to do that, and the feedback will be received for approval back to Business Central. So that's all for me. So if you have questions, then I'll answer them on the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joulyne, for the presentation. I know we are running out of time, but I want to briefly invite Joe from the team at Microsoft. So they look after the higher education sector. So if he can, he will paint for us a picture of some of the cool stuff we have within the higher education sector. Then after Joe is done, we'll spend around 10 to 15 minutes. Then we'll have a brief Q&A session. Then we will close the session for today. So Joe, if you're there, kindly.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope all of you are well. As mentioned, my name is Joe Gaiku. I'm a learning and skills specialist here at the Microsoft Education team. I cover the Africa region, work closely with ministries of education and institutions of higher learning to help them develop a digital transformation strategy, but also to skill them to prepare the students for the future, skilling educators, students, and IT faculty. I think, Leon, if you don't mind, just confirming that you can hear me clearly. I am currently in a school, so there might be some background noise. Audibility is very clear. If I keep
Yes, you're clear enough.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So what can we do with generative AI? I mean, artificial intelligence didn't start today. We started this in the 90s, specifically 1950s. But what we have today, ever since 2021, is generative AI, come leaps and bounds. And within the education sector, we've seen so many opportunities for language translation, class assistance, semantic search, subject research, code refactoring for anyone in the technology space. And so the question is, what can we do? What can we
Joe, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. I missed the punchline. My punchline really was that the generative AI opens a lot of opportunities for us, and the opportunities are limitless, especially when you look at ourselves within education. We can take full advantage of the possibilities that generative AI does provide to us. And one of the solutions, because I know our team has Right, has already talked a lot about various solutions across the space, but I wanted to just focus my next 10 minutes towards solutions that will be relevant for higher education. And to do this, I will kick us off with a video that talks more about the Microsoft solutions that are available to you in education today. So
traditional reading assessments were clunky, they were time consuming, and they weren't always accurate, and they just ate up so much time.
We are extending our learning tools by adding an important new category called Learning Accelerators. Learning Accelerators help students advance foundational skills, as well as develop future-ready skills to better prepare them for success in college, career, and life.
It's like there are 20 extra teachers in one classroom. It's very easy to use, it works.
Amazing about reading progress when it comes to data is that data is immediate. A student can hand in and turn in one of their reads, and I can immediately sit down with them, and we can look at that read, look at the words they missed, their repetitions, their admissions, their insertions.
It identifies words that students may struggle with and provides additional support. So this frees up the teacher to work with other students.
Speaker Coach is one of those tools that kind of was a light bulb tool for a lot of students that I've worked with. Being able to have the ability to practice and get real-time feedback is where Speaker Coach really comes in and helps our students and even helps us as adults.
Search Coach really does surface the tools and the information that our students need to make well-educated decisions around the validity of the results that they're being presented with.
The Reflect app allows the students the opportunity to be self-aware of how they're currently feeling in that learning space. And that allows me the power and the privilege to pivot my lesson in response to what I'm seeing.
When we invest in dyslexic learners in schools, it's not just about remediating challenges, it's also preparing our future workforce to solve the problems of tomorrow.
When we can see what it is they're struggling with, our teachers can intervene and provide that additional support. When students get what they need when they need it, I believe that they can progress faster, and that's what we want in the end.
Microsoft Reading Progress can help develop their reading proficiency for them to be able to compete for jobs.
We want to make sure that all of our students leave schools as confident and capable readers, that they can engage with school and with the world beyond school. It's a necessity for us as a system, and it will help us in terms of a city and a global community.
We believe that learning accelerators can unlock the full potential of every student, giving them opportunities to learn, practice, and receive instant feedback in an inclusive and trusted environment.
So this just gives you an overview of the cool things that are happening within Microsoft, specifically in the education space. And if it's just take you a bit slower now, because we're able to touch on a couple of the learning accelerators that Microsoft has really put a lot of focus on. And when you look at the functionality or the impact that these solutions do have, I know in the video you could see younger children using these tools and technologies, but studies have shown that fundamental skills such as fluency, speech, arithmetic, and digital literacy such as touch are skills that will be required for our students, not only in K-12, but also in higher education. Why is this the case? Because if you're looking at students who drive STEM courses or be creative thinkers or critical thinkers and social emotional people within the global market, then we need to prepare them with the right skills and resources to be effective and impactful in their spaces. So these foundational skills are what we're looking to improve on. And if you're looking at something like Reading Progress and Reading Coach, this is very useful for educators in the higher education space who are teaching languages. So you imagine your student is an English speaker based in Nairobi, Kenya, but is learning French, Spanish, German. Microsoft Reading Progress and Reading Coach can be able to support over 100 languages. So even considering that a student who is an international student coming in from a French-speaking country or an Arabic-speaking country and is having challenges understanding the content that is being taught to them within the classroom, we can be able to support them to improve their fluency, or improve even their arithmetics, so that they can be a lot more successful in the future. Let me just take a minute and walk you through a brief demonstration of how Speaker Coach works. So if you're looking to see it in action, Speaker Coach is really built within Microsoft Teams for Education, and this is a solution that are available to you today. With Microsoft Teams for Education, you can set up a classroom. It picks up the similar environment that you do have within a classroom environment and brings it into a digital space. So you can have your homepage, you have your class notebook, you can be able to build in your modules and even reuse them year on year. But let's focus on Speaker Coach. Within Speaker Coach, students can be given an assignment, and the assignment is to research on a specific topic. Especially in higher education, where research is such a critical element, and this is taught within our educational institutions, we need to be able to teach our students to, one, analyze data productively and creatively, but two, also be able to identify what is credible information and what is not credible information. So if I was to type within this fusion power as a research topic, you're quickly able to see the search results being brought up. And Search Coach guides the students through forming effective queries and identifying reliable sources. So at the top right there, you see a search tip that the student is being given based on the topic that they're searching on. If you look even at the bottom of the findings, you're able to identify that we have partnered with NewsGuard, which is an AI tool that is able to identify what is credible or not credible information. So it quickly is able to identify for the student that research shows that, it's based on the domain, based the type of file that the student is interacting with, it shows a level of credibility. So maybe a .com is not as credible, but a .edu, .gov domain is more credible. So research shows that many educators teach students to look for reliable sources by identifying domains. And so in Search Coach, students can select which domains they would like to retrieve information from, even before conducting a search. So if you notice, we're looking at how to train them on identifying credible information within the internet space. And this allows them to do this within a safe, credible, and in a safe space, away from advertisements, away from distractors that would distract them from the content they were looking to gain out of the session. So, and I'll also take another minute just to walk you through reading progress. And again, this is more around fluency and speech. So reading progress looks at how can we improve the fluency of our students. And this can be delivered through an assignment within Microsoft Teams, where you're able to create an assignment, give it whatever topic, whatever guidelines around it, and even updated into this, then the artificial intelligence element, where if you select a topic and set the reading level, and reading levels go all the way up until university level, you're able to create content that your students will be able to go through and analyze. So over and above you uploading a PDF or you using our library, artificial intelligence has been brought into this space that can be able to create content specifically for your reading audience around the topics that you have chosen. So an educator is able to quickly customize this, looking at the reading levels, fictional and fictional content, and assign it to the student to be able to undertake. The student on the other side is able to receive a notification telling them that the assignment is on their side and they're able to undertake it. So reading progress is more from the assignment point of view, but reading coach is now more from a student's experience, where they get self-paced learning and coaching guides from artificial intelligence and also from the teacher's notes to be able to be successful in improving their fluency. So a student such as this girl would be able to record a video, reading the text that was presented before her. And once they complete the reading, the student is able to see the words that they struggled with and are able to hear back from the system how to work around that word, whether be it speaking back the word, how it's broken down into syllables, or even an image when it is available. Earth. The word is earth. So you still get to read the word and is able to get the coach support from reading coach. And finally, speaker coach touches more or less on the same element, but is now focused on the physical attributes. So this is using AI in terms of optical recognition to see the visibility of the student's face, the facial expressions, their intonation, their speech pattern, to help them improve on their speaking attributes. And finally, lastly, as I look at the impact and the value of artificial intelligence that is readily and available to you, if you notice, right now I'm on my Edge platform, Microsoft Edge, and at the top corner, I do have Bing Chat, which is now called Copilot Chat. As an educator, I can look at creating content in terms of either the administrative work that I do on a daily basis. So let's say I'm looking for an AI curriculum lesson plan for first-year students, right? And I put that into the system, and it's able to give me a full lesson plan. And as you can see, it's structured by week 1, week 2, and I can even say, please follow ISTE education guidelines or the lesson plan. So I can continuously prompt it and now get deeper content that is provided to me as an educator. So looking at generative AI, it's able to not only look through the internet space, analyze the information that is available, structure it into reasonable and comprehensible content. So you can see week 4, it's an introduction, text, activity. I can even ask it to add assignments to the lesson plan. Finally, I'm clearly putting it to the task. But as you can see, even as it populates that, it's not only looking at information that is, it's looking at very credible information, and even at the bottom provides you with links for you to be able to reference your source, your content source, for you to be able to interact with your students and even bring it to the classroom. Maybe just let me try that again. My connectivity might be failing me. I guess that's what you get for a live demo. But as you can see, this is very interactive, and you can be able to build content that is relevant. So what I'd like to mention is this is free and easy for access for you to use today. However, you can take this to the next level by getting Copilot for your organization. So Enterprise Copilot will allow you to bring in your resources, your content in a safe and secure environment, and be able to analyze that content and be able to produce generative text based on your context. So, for example, in the Middle East, we had one of our customers who took all the previous exams they had, put it within Microsoft Copilot, And from there, educators were able to query for any kind of questions to be generated for the next exams. And Copilot will not only generate from the existing content, but also generate new content or new questions, hence expanding even further the exam bank. So there's so many use cases for artificial intelligence today. And this is just some that we have the opportunity to share with you. Even as we continue engaging with Bright, you'll be able to even get more knowledge and more resources that will allow you to be more effective and be a better user of artificial intelligence today. So thank you very much. Over to you.
Great. Thank you, Joe. That was very informative. And what's coming out clearly is that the education sector is fully adapting to technology trends at a very fast or rapid speed. And as a technology partner, our role is to help you as our customers adapt the right technology for your institution. So at this juncture, I'd love to invite your questions. If you have any questions at the moment, I know we have shared a good number of information within a very short time frame. So we are still very open and will give you enough time to just go back and digest what we have shared today. So what I'll do after this webinar session is that I'll share a thank you note email to all the attendees. Then please feel free to respond if you'll need us to connect on a more in-depth one-on-one session. Then we can always, we will sync our calendars and we'll plan these meetings. So please, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So maybe we can spend a minute to see if there's any question from the audience. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the day.